What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Sebastian Vettel.
Yo, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
What's happening, guys? My name is Grim. Welcome back to another Formula 1 video. And today we're going to be talking about the four-time Formula 1 World Champion, Sebastian Vettel, and my experience meeting the four-time champion multiple times. And the first time I actually got this bad boy signed. Sebastian Vettel obviously is a four-time champion, became four-time champion with Red Bull, won a race with Toro Rosso, raced for Ferrari, came close to becoming champion with Ferrari, won multiple races with Ferrari. His last win was in Singapore. Obviously, Sebastian went to Aston Martin, and before Aston Martin actually became good, and I guess built up the car for Fernando Alonso, you can probably say. But today we're going to be talking about my experience with Sebastian Vettel, and let's just go through a bit of history. So guys, my first time actually getting a helmet like this signed from Sebastian, I'll give you guys a rundown. So to get stuff signed from big drivers from Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull back in the 2014, 2015 era was super hard, right? And this is at the Australian Grand Prix. That's where I get most of my stuff signed. So it was super hard. Like, you'd have to wait in like a 3 different line for multiple hours to try and get the signature from both drivers. And I had this Sebastian Vettel helmet to get signed, and I wasn't going to wait because I was going to another section to get multiple drivers, not just the one. Anyway, long story short, I go, I'm sure I can get Vettel. And to be honest with you, his teammate back then was Kimi Raikkonen, and Raikkonen was near impossible to get. I've made a video on Kimi, so guys, check that out after this video. He is the hardest signature to get in Formula 1, in my opinion. So he was teammates with Kimi Raikkonen, couldn't get him, and then Sebastian Vettel. Normally, Sebastian Vettel was actually really cool, right? Like, he would come sign everybody and spend multiple minutes signing autographs with like people, where Kimi was very quick and other drivers are really quick, but Vettel would spend the time signing drivers. He didn't really care. He knew what it meant to be a fan, right? And you can tell from the video where he was naming all the world champions. Like, Vettel is a fan of Formula 1. And you can tell from the fans, and he'll spend time signing, talking to people, and he's like, honestly, he's really awesome. We've had 2 experiences with Vettel, but let's talk about this helmet first. I'll give you guys actually a look at this helmet, because there's a mini helmet channel. So there you go, pretty cool. I haven't done a video on it, but the 4-time champion Sebastian Vettel's mini helmet. And this signature here. So what happened, everyone was lining up, right? And there was probably, I don't know, there was a good 80 people lining up for hours to get Vettel. And I knew where sort of Vettel was going to walk in from with Kimi Raikkonen. I had a Kimi Raikkonen helmet and I had this Sebastian Vettel helmet. And Sebastian Kimi walked in first, and I sort of had an idea where they were going to be. So I thought I'd try my luck, chuck the pen over, chuck the helmet over, this like fence thing. This was an old setup back at the Australian Grand Prix that year. I worked out where they were going to be, and I chucked the pen and helmet over, and no one was there, man. Like, it was a very secluded spot. Like, all right, so back then, there was like toilets, right, to go in and out. And behind this fence over the toilets, that's where the drivers would walk through to go onto this main fan stage. No one was there trying to get signatures except for me. Well, to be honest, my goal was to get Vettel to get this signed. And to be honest, back then, I didn't really know markers. So the actual signature's it's okay. It's a bit thick though. I didn't really know markers back then. I've done a video on markers. So guys, check that out if you don't know what marker to use. But anyway, Kimi Raikkonen walks in first. I chuck the helmet over this fence, and Kimi just pretty much ignores me. And then Sebastian Vettel comes over. I chuck the helmet over the fence with the pen, and I see Vettel stop. I'm like, Sebastian, can you sign the helmet, please? And then Vettel's looking at it. He's about to walk over, and then one of the ladies or officials from the Australian Grand Prix like stops him and goes, no, he's not signing nothing. And then I went into like schizo mode and was like, nah. I swore, and I was like, nah, he's about to walk. He's about to sign it. Like, that's not fair. And I started sort of going off at her because I had all this adrenaline because Vettel was about to sign my helmet. It was super hard to get a Ferrari driver. And Vettel was like, you know what, bugger it. Like, I'm going to go up there and just sign this up. So Vettel comes to the fence, and I pass him the helmet. He signs it with the pen and everything, pass the helmet back. And I'm just like, thank you, Seb, thank you. Like, it's a massive rush, right? People that collect mini helmets, get stuff signed, probably know what I'm talking about, right? It's like a passion. It's crazy. Like, so for example, you look at this helmet, you see a helmet with a signature. For me, I see a helmet and a memory. And Vettel passes the helmet back to me, and he's like, oh, be careful, like, don't smudge it. And I smudged it a bit there because I was so excited. I'm like, thank you, Seb, thank you. And then Seb walks off to the stage and does what he has to do. Something little like that, like, a driver doesn't have to do, but he knew, like, pretty much made, like, that year, right? Like, and really changed my perspective on Sebastian. Now, before Vettel actually like drove for Ferrari and he was driving for Red Bull, obviously being Australian, I was following Mark Webber. And this was before I collected signatures. I really like Mark Webber. I didn't like Sebastian during his 4 years at Red Bull. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And it's really unfortunate because now I'm very glad he took 4 championships off Mark Webber, because Vettel being such a nice guy, he'll stop and sign, talk to fans is really cool. So before that, I didn't really like him. I really liked Webber. And then once I started experiencing actually meeting drivers, Vettel doing this for me, signing multiple autographs, like he would stop and sign, I actually started to become more and more of a Vettel fan. Like I'm like, this guy's actually cool. Where Mark Webber was the complete opposite. I waited in the rain for Mark Webber one time to get a photo signed, and he literally goes no. And I was like, bro, like, cuz I was waiting for like freaking like 30 minutes for him to do something talking. I'm waiting in the rain with like this Marco and shit. And he said no. But a lot of people that collect signatures know that Mark Webber isn't that great. You got to really, not that you can get him on a good day, but he's pretty, honestly, Mark Webber's shit to get signed. And after the experience I had with him, you know, people will probably try and backlash me about it, but you don't understand, like, bro, to wait 30 minutes, one guy to sign one photo, like, anyway. So I'll never get anything signed from Mark, but it is what it is. Yeah, so then it changed my perspective. I became a Vettel fan and obviously less of a Mark Webber fan. Actually, I don't really care what Mark Webber does, to be honest, anymore. But yeah, became a massive Sebastian Vettel fan, and I realized actually really cool. And over the years, he'd sign stuff. Example, Aston Martin, when he was driving for them, him and Stroll walked through this section. We had photos to get signed, had multiple photos signed by Seb. He would come to this fence and sign multiple photos for us. So he'd actually take the time, look at it. And yeah, another example, we had someone with us who had a Vettel helmet, his last year at Ferrari, and they needed it signed. And my brother we figured out where Sebastian would enter in and out of the paddock. Literally no one was there, and Vettel came up by himself. Yet my brother had the helmet. Unfortunately, there's no video footage of this, but anyway, my brother had the helmet, and we're like, oh crap, Vettel's coming on the phone. It's a whole operation, right? So Vettel was coming, and then my brother was waiting, and Vettel actually stopped his bike, parked his bike, went up to my brother, had a conversation with him, signed the helmet. Yeah, got another Sebastian Vettel sign. But I only have one helmet signed by Sebastian, because I was like, oh, at the time I was like, only like, whatever, I'll just get one helmet signed by each driver. The more addictive this collection gets, you want to buy more and more. So I wish I did have one more signed by Sebastian, but it is what it is. I can't complain. We've got the 4-time world champion signed with a Ferrari helmet. You know, looking back at Vettel's Ferrari days, I really like this actual helmet in particular. I like the top there, the German colors there, German flag colors. So it'd be really cool. So over the years, honestly, Sebastian is really, really awesome. Like, normally I do a rating out of 10 for each helmet and stuff, but I'm going to give a personal rating on the actual driver. And Sebastian's a 10 out of 10, man. Like, really awesome guy. Have conversations with people, signs people's autograph, comes back, signs everybody. Like, he might not come out one day to sign autographs, but he'll come out and do stuff. Like, man, really awesome top guy, and he's really true to the fans. And yeah, being a 4-time world champion, you know, like, there's people that are 1-time champions that are really hard to get, and like, for example, Raikkonen, and Vettel being a 4-time champion just really cares about the fans and just, yeah, signs and spends time with them. So that's my Sebastian Vettel experience, guys. I thought I'd, you know, tell you guys, why not show you guys a mini helmet while we're doing this type of video. If you guys like this type of videos, tell me down below, like stories about different drivers. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. We'll see what happens. So do that. And also follow me on Instagram, guys, please. That would really mean a lot to me if you guys can follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to grow that as well. Probably going to post more half-scale content on Instagram. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next Formula 1 video. Thank you.